hard SF approach, emphasizing science content, linking it directly to the narrative, and maintaining a rigorous approach to the science itself. They also meet the most important requirement for the true hard SF story. They all are as accurate and rigorous in their use of scientific knowledge at the time of writing as was possible. Hard science fiction has remained a constant throughout the history of science fiction. In the 1950s, it was where the best tales of space exploration were forged. In the 1960s, it was the heart of near-Earth science fiction. In the 1980s, it was the radical center for the British drive to the new space opera. And in the 1990s, with the arrival of both quantum mechanics in science fiction and the singularity, it was the basis for Kim Stanley Robinson's meticulous and demanding Mars trilogy, Greg Egan's explorations of human consciousness, and Charles Stross's post-scarcity space operas. This, however, is the 21st century, and I think things are becoming more complicated and complex. Science fiction no longer subscribes readily to a single view of its own history. There's far more to our past than the Gernsback continuum, or indeed more recently the Gibson continuum, the past and future history of cyberpunk, and science itself seems to be an ever more wriggly and complex beast as we come to better understand the universe in which we find ourselves. Frankly, quantum mechanics often sounds indistinguishable from magic. We're also well into the fourth generation of science fiction. The genre has been born, passed through adolescence into adulthood, and is moving into a post-scarcity period of incredible richness and diversity. That impacts on everything in our field, from the diversity of the people who write science fiction to whom and about what they choose to write. We've also long since accepted that science fiction writers aren't backroom Nostradamuses reading tea leaves and predicting the future. They're people using science fiction as a tool to interrogate and extrapolate from our present for what we can learn about the human condition. All of this became increasingly clear to me as Engineering Infinity came together. Slowly drift set in. We moved away from pure hard SF to something a little broader. Yes, each and every story here has at its heart a piece of scientific speculation. Yes, there's a real attempt not to break any known laws of physics. But far more importantly, I think, the writers here who are some of our finest dreamers turned away from Tom Godwin's The Cold Equations, and towards the promise embedded in the title of this book itself, the point where the practical application of science meets something without bound or end. Our sense of wonder. There'll be times as you read the stories collected here, encountering everything from a mirror that makes us ask who is real and who is not, to a cannibalistic zombie cyborg, where you might ask, how is this story hard SF? My answer, the best answer I can give you, is that some of the stories are classic hard SF. Some are not. Some hold at their heart a slightly anachronistic love of science fiction's days gone by, or simply grab some aspect of science fiction and test it to destruction and beyond. But all are striving to be great stories. I should add, Engineering Infinity is not the last statement in an evolutionary taxonomy of hard SF. For all that, I'd love to see such a book. It's neither a definitive book of hard SF, nor an attempt to coin a new radical hard SF. Instead, it is part of the ongoing discussion about what science fiction is in the 21st century. I hope you enjoy it as much as I have enjoyed compiling it. And that may be just perhaps it inspires you to look forward at what's coming next. Jonathan Strahan, Perth, Western Australia.